Do you just speed on Ryan? Yeah, on Ryan, I guess.
Dude, bro,
right?
it's all five-man bio. As soon oh, he actually got a 5K. That's the first 5K we've seen. What's up, YouTube? Today is a good day. The Overwatch League is back and Season 5 is finally here. We made it through the longest off-season in esports history, and I don't even know how I've managed to do that, but pat yourself on the back because you deserve it. Today we got our first real look at professional Overwatch 2 gameplay. A lot of questions about how teams were going to approach the meta are now being answered. We saw some great plays today over the 3 matches of our opening day, but one hero really made quite an impression on me, and that hero is Ana, the topic of today's video. I'm going to be breaking down why every team is playing her. Is she actually good? Spoiler, she's actually insane right now. And why I think she might just be the best hero in Overwatch 2. Real quick, before we get started though, I really want to give a big shout out to everyone who's been supporting my content over the past few weeks. Getting a new channel started has a lot of challenges, and I appreciate each and every one of you who have dropped by. So if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. I'll be posting plenty more stuff over the course of the season. I'm also streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Avril, where I'm doing co-streams of professional matches and analytical content. Okay, a bit of context first. You've probably noticed a lot of people in the past 2 weeks making power rankings and tier lists, and yeah, I made one too. And you can check out that video on this channel. Now, that specific tier list I made was based on my impressions of how every hero felt in the alpha, where I had put Ana in the A tier based on seeing a lot of Ana finding success from teams playing her in scrims. If I was to redo the tier list now for the beta, I'd definitely change a few things. First and foremost, Ana would be in the S tier instead of just in the A tier. And I know you're thinking, how can supports really be this good? Aren't they meant to be really weak right now? Isn't everyone complaining about how supports just dying and you can't survive and they're not very good at all in the meta? I see you, I hear you, and honestly, so did Blizzard at this rate, because there's already a patch in the beta to address some of the support deficiencies. They're getting a little bit of help, so if you are struggling at the moment, this patch is going to help you for sure. We're not going to see this patch drop for the Overwatch League just yet. It's probably not even going to come in at all for this stage. We're likely not going to see it until stage 2, so nothing in the Overwatch League is going to change just yet. But look, I get it. Supports are definitely harder to play in Overwatch 2 than they were in Overwatch 1. The skill floor of the role has been raised, which means you need to do a lot more to succeed now than before. Yes, there is less protection. You're gonna have to depend a lot more on your own skill to survive now, but with that also comes a lot of advantages. I'm gonna refer to a tweet made by Kaku here, who outlined a couple things about supports. He says, supports are actually good. This whole time I thought the passive kicked in after 2 seconds, but it's 1 second before you get 15 health per second. 1 second. Each day, players are making better adjustments with natural cover to synergize with the passive. Ana, really good at soloing now. Play more DPS minded. Take high ground without having to worry about taking poke damage and wasting self-nade. Duck into cover for a few seconds to heal, then re-peek. Okay, so what is he really saying? Basically, to succeed as a support, you need to be much more of a playmaker now than before. The missing piece of info here is that it's actually also much easier to be a playmaker than before. Okay, so there's one less tank on your team to protect you when you're in trouble, but there's also one less tank on the other team to stop you from landing your utility and damage. Ana is particularly good in this aspect because it used to be that a lot of your utility would get blocked by tanks on the other team, whereas now, especially in a meta where D.Va isn't the preferred tank, you can basically sail through every single Bionade and Sleep Dart without it getting blocked. And even if D.Va was meta, there's still only one tank that could do anything to stop you, and you can always play around her cooldowns. So let me show you what that looks like in the hands of someone who really knows how to get the most out of Ana. The player we're focusing on is Atlanta Reigns, a new flex support rookie, Ultraviolet, who's also one of the most hyped Western rookies this year, and definitely one of the best flex support pickups from the offseason. I'm going to take a look at that Nero 5k from the start of this video again, but from UV's point of view. While it's rare to get a full 5-man anti like this, what isn't rare is how often he's just getting antis in general to enable plays from the rest of his team. Every single time a Bionade from UV lands on a target, he's at minimum ruining tempo from the other team, or usually forcing cooldowns like Majed's Lamp or Checkmate's Ice Block if he's on the Mei, if not outright giving his team the ability to get kills in swing fights with a single cooldown. And so we're going to roll with some UV highlights from this match versus Mayhem, and you're going to see him constantly making plays. He's weaving in left clicks on enemy targets while still keeping up with healing. Plenty of Bionades hitting non-tank targets as well on the other team, which by the way, is actually really important in this matchup, because if you go back to watch this match, you'll notice that Majid, the Ana player from Florida on the other team, is spending a lot more time self-nading, using cooldowns on Hawk, the Atlanta Doomfist player who's putting a lot of pressure on the Florida backline. UV generally isn't paying as much attention and isn't forced to pay as much attention to the Florida tank someone. He's instead constantly looking for avenues to throw in cooldowns against the backline of Florida and look for damage. I mean, 35 bio grenade kills over 4 maps, that's really saying a lot. So now we're going to talk a little bit about where Ana fits into the meta at a more macro scale. We know she can make plays, but is that the only reason she's seeing playtime? There's definitely more to it for sure. What I would describe as the default compositions right now are what you see across both teams. It's Genji, Soldier, Lucio, Ana, then with either a Doom or a Winston on tank. It's obviously very dive heavy, it's fast. This is also being played on the day 1 beta patch, so not the latest patch where Soldier's been nerfed. He's still really good in the Overwatch League for stage 1 currently. What you'll notice with these comps is that all 3 plays between the DPS and tank are great nano targets for Ana. Typically in Overwatch 1 we saw a lot of Ana gameplay when paired with these heroes. Nano Blade, Nano Visor, and even dry nanos on a Winston were very common combos in Overwatch 1 metas. That combined with her ability to land more utility now more than before means her personal output and team synergy is better than ever. For this stage during the kickoff clash, we really are in the perfect storm for this type of composition. We already knew that Soldier was busted on the day 1 patch given how fast he is with the DPS passive and how effective consistent hit scan damage is when there's one less tank to stop you. Genji originally didn't see that much playtime, and Winston wasn't very good in the alpha, which is why I had Winston so low in my hero tier list. Realistically, they didn't have any notable changes, but they do have good survivability in the front line and the ability to draw attention from the other team. That combined with fantastic synergy with Ana pushed both heroes to much higher usage. The perfect storm is that everything in this default composition complements the other. All heroes are playmakers and capable of turning fights on their own. Ana in particular is getting to the position where she's become more important than Lucio. There are now more situations where you'd keep the Ana and swap the Lucio than the other way around it. Other compositions do exist, but this is still what I'd consider to be default for now. The fact that Ana just enables everything makes every other hero in this composition that much better. You can definitely tell when the Ana is making a difference. I mean, just look at what Ultraviolet does all throughout his match versus Florida. Whether you consider Ana to be the best hero for now or not, kind of depends on what your definition of the best is. What I can say though is that, in my opinion, she is the most important hero in the pro meta as of now. The patch that just came through in the beta has weakened bio nades, but again, that change won't hit Overwatch League for a while, so for the time being, she's definitely still the queen of Overwatch 2. Until Zenyatta kicks her off the throne, I guess. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me and you think that maybe Ana might just be the best hero in the meta right now. Let me know if you watched the Overwatch League's opening weekend and tell me if your favorite team won. Let me know what you thought about the games. If you enjoyed this type of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next video.